Hello, my name is Nii. Welcome to the Afro-Mystical Stories channel. In Ghana, we say Akwaba. On this channel, we tell you all about the supernatural stories in Ghana. This first episode is about a story of stubbornness and the grief that comes with it. The neon glow of Osu's nightlife flickered like restless spirits over cracked pavements, and rusted lampposts dot the main street. Oxford Street buzzed with life. Music thumped from speakers mounted on roadside bars. The air smelled of grilled kebabs, kelewele and kaklo and, exhaust fumes. And beneath it all, there was always something else. Something older, something ancient, something hidden in plain sight, something sinister. But Obodai knew only two things: work hard and mind your business. It's that simple. By day, Obodai was like any other young man in Accra. Early 20s, lean frame hardened from years of pushing carts and lifting sacks at Osu night market. His friends loved his company, his easy smile, and his jokes about politicians. But when the sun set, Obodai transformed into something else. A vendor of fried yam and spicy wings, a master of sizzling oil and pepper sauces, the green, black, and red sauces. That was how he paid his rent, that was how he sent money to his mother in Adabraka, that was how he kept his pride. But there was one rule his family had told him: never sell past midnight, not in Osu, not there. It was Obodai's grandmother, long dead now, who had given the most serious warnings about Osu at night. She'd whisper over bowls of palm nut soup during dinner. There are paths in this town that were never meant for men. The old ones walk them still. They have no mercy for the living, no regard for our sentiments. But Obodai, he didn't believe in those stories. Old women's tales, he'd always thought. These were tales probably just meant to make children scared into obedience. Besides, business was good, too good, and he was chasing money, not shadows. He always thought if he didn't harbor any bad intentions towards anyone, then nothing bad can happen to him. On that particular night, the sky over Accra was thick with clouds, moonlight struggling to break through. The usual crowd gathered around Obodai's stand, typically taxi drivers needing fuel for their stomach on their night shifts. Girls from the university in groups of 3 or more who were going to their hostels after a long night of partying. Tipsy couples holding hands and laughing too loudly, being all lovey-dovey. "Charlie, Obodai, add more wings for me, this pepper they be, and don't be stingy with the pepper. Add more, give me slices of onions as well." One regular, Kwabena, joked, holding his stomach as if he couldn't take the sensation of hunger plaguing his stomach. Laughter echoed around the stand. Obodai grinned. The yam sizzled in the wide blackened frying pan. The smell was, honestly, just irresistible. He was the only one who was privy to the secret of making his fried yams crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. It all has to do with how you marinate the yam slices before frying them. But as the crowd grew thinner and the street emptied, a strange silence crept into the night. It started small, an uneasy pause between car horns, a sudden absence of laughter, as if the city was holding its breath. And then he noticed it, a figure standing just beyond the reach of his hanging lantern light. The figure didn't move, didn't speak, just stood there watching. Obodai squinted, maybe another late-night customer. Sometimes, drunkards wandered in, looking to sober up on hot food.
"Boss, you they want yam? It's left with the last batch to be fried. You'll have to wait a few minutes."
No answer. The figure took one step forward, and that's when the light caught the feet, bare feet covered in red dust like someone who had walked all the way from the savannah. And the clothes, outdated like something from a different century. Faded kente, torn and frayed at the edges. A cold finger of dread ran down Obodai's spine. Something was wrong. He couldn't place his finger on it, but his sixth sense was buzzing. The distant hum of the street seemed to die completely. Suddenly, A shout from across the street. "Obodai, close the stand now." It was Auntie Essie, an old woman who sold second-hand clothes near the internet cafe close to the Kenki cellar. Everyone knew her as a bit strange, always muttering to herself in Ga, always burning strange herbs by her stall, sprinkling saline solution around her stall to ward off evil spirits. "Close it now, do you hear me? Now! I'm not joking with you, they are coming, I'm not kidding. Leave everything, stop everything, and just go home." Obodai's hand froze over the frying ladle. The figure took another step forward, and as it did, something strange happened. The oil in the frying pan began to bubble violently, even though, the fire beneath it was dying out. The red dust at the figure's feet, it wasn't dust anymore. It was ash. A smell hit Obodai's nose. Burning flesh, sharp, metallic, wrong. "Now, Obodai, now!" Without thinking, Obodai grabbed his cash box, the oil still spitting behind him, and flipped the stand on its side, dousing the flames. He sprinted toward Auntie Essie, heart-hammering, footsteps echoing unnaturally loud on the empty street. As he reached her, she spat on the ground beside him 3 times and muttered words in a dialect he barely understood. "Foolish boy," she whispered harshly, her eyes wild with an intensity that could pierce through the very soul. "You have brought this on yourself, so naive of all the spirits that roam this place, you doubt them and that fuels their very existence. I believe they exist and I take precautions. Don't you know what you've done?" The question hung in the air, heavy with unspoken consequences. Obodai opened his mouth to answer, but before he could utter a single word, a cold wind swept through the street. It carried with it the soft sound of singing, low and mournful in a language older than Fante or Ga, filling the air with an ancient haunting melody. It rose from the direction of his stand where the figure still stood, now joined by others slowly stepping into the fading lantern light. Their eyes were empty, shallow, their mouths singing. Obodai was filled to the brim with fear, his legs felt weak. "Auntie Essie, what are they? Who are they, and what do they want from me?" "They are the forgotten ones. They are the consequences of ancient spells that went wrong." If you stayed till now, I want to thank you and let you know. There's more to come. Stay tuned and subscribe to the channel to be notified when part 2 is released. Love you all.